So I got this story for you. I have one of the students that are enrolled into Sales Remastered and works for one of the largest lenders. I think they're actually number 3 in the entire country, and actually right around the corner from here. You know who I'm talking about. And right now, just for those of you who don't know, I'm actually in Foothill Ranch, California, and I think it's Foothill Ranch. Yeah, I believe this is called Foothill. But anyway, so one of my students who's enrolled in the Sales Boost Camp works for this particular company, and he just got back into the industry, and he departed and went towards like life insurance, and he went some completely separate to mortgage lending. Anyway, coming back in as a newbie, he enrolled into the Sales Boost Camp because he wanted to ensure that he hit the floor running, and that's exactly what he did. But before we started having our mentoring calls, because every other week I do a mentoring call with the students who are enrolled in the Sales Boost Camp, and these mentoring calls are just one-on-one. It's just me and that student sharing an hour together, where we just focus on the exact challenge that particular student has within their environment, whether they're inside, outside, retail, call center, wholesale, account executive, whatever their primary function is. We focus just in on that, and I provide value, right? I provide mentoring, direct coaching. And so the particular problem he was having was that he just couldn't get through on the original call, like original sales call, and he would get through, but people would go ghost, or people would shop him, and people just went dark. And so during this mentoring call, I shared with him a few different techniques and some things that he could revise. But my message to you is that, and I think that this rings true to a lot of people who are watching this, is the systems that we have that we feel obligated to follow, that are set by our company, that are set by our managers or sales trainers or sales system, right? The sales system that we have, is we have to understand that that system is being put in place by an engine, a machine. So let me give you an example. So your sales process right now, what you may be advised by this machine, by your sales manager, by your sales trainer, that machine is just meant to extract as much information as possible, because your seat and your license enables you to do that, right? You need an NMLS number in order to talk about rate, fees, programs, and mortgage in exchange for compensation. And that makes sense. So you have to, an engine needs an NMLS license number to be connected with the outside world to extract that information. Now, why? Why would an engine tell you that no matter what, just get the package in, no matter what, just get the social, no matter what? And right? Like sitting inside this system or following the system, deep in your heart that the person you're talking to probably isn't going to go through, or the process or the pieces of the process that you're doing probably is mundane and redundant and makes absolutely no fucking sense. But we do it anyway, right? And so what I want to do in this video is I want to vent with you and tell you why these systems are in place, and why you following these systems to a T may very well be hindering your overall production. Now, unless you're at your employer and you're in sales for the hourly or for the base salary, keep it moving, boo-boo. This video ain't for you. You know what I mean? Like that's you. You're already doing good. But if you are in this industry to make top dollar, to really experience the fruits of being a licensed loan officer, then you're gonna want to watch this entire video. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Sales Remastered. My name is Daniel and I'm the host. And as I said, in this video, what we're going to talk about is the systems that we are tied down to, and sometimes these systems aren't necessarily meant to hurt you, but I want to share with you in this video how they hurt you. And why my experience to even tell you this is because I've been in sales for over 20 years. I currently manage the #1 team for one of the largest multi-billion-dollar lending institutions in the country, and so I'm fortunate to kind of know this insider shit. And I'm going to share with you some of the some hacks that are actually going to help you develop a little bit more of an efficient system, so you don't feel so burnt out and you're making some dollar while you're at your job. So, but before we begin, let me announce two things. Number one is the Breakfast of Champions is back, and so it's going to be playing every Thursday. The next Breakfast of Champions, depending on when you're catching this, is going to be tomorrow, which is February 28th, 2019, and it's going to be geared around the simple hacks that you can do to really build rapport. Like a lot of loan officers think that you have to talk on the phone with the prospect for damn near 5 hours in order for them to like you. That's not true. You could talk to a prospect for damn near 5 minutes and make them like you. You could talk to a prospect for a total of 20 minutes and get enough loyalty, enough urgency, and enough commitment to make that person solid and glued to you. And I'm going to show you how in that. And also just some different techniques in order to really persuade more sales in 2019. So don't miss that live stream. Again, it's the Breakfast of Champions, happen every Thursday live, 8:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram, and Twitter. You want to plug me in if you're there. I'm there too, at Sales Remastered. And then the second thing is, let's salute to the algorithm gods. Do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button, comment below, let me know what your thoughts are on this video. Say, yo D, I appreciate all the content you're giving out for free, bruh. You really helped me increase my sales, bruh. You helped me increase my income, thank you, bruh. All you want is this damn comment. All right, bruh. I got you. But for real, we need to play these algorithm gods, man. You know I'm out here working, I'm grinding, bro. And my whole goal is to build a system, is to build a brand, is to build recognition. And by doing so, I'm demonstrating value, and I'm putting myself out there. I'm putting as much content out there. Don't judge me, shit. Just fucking follow the code and do the same shit for you. But where I'm getting at in this video is as I had mentioned, I have students that are enrolled in the Sales Boost Camp, which is a 6-week sales training course that's very engaged. So every other week I'm sharing an hour with every student, and it's just me and them, just personally over Skype video, you know, face to face over FaceTime or Skype, and we focus directly in solely on their challenge and on their issues. And what I'm learning more and more, as now there are over 50 students inside this particular training course, is that a lot of us are weighed down by the systems that are actually put in place. And the systems that are put in place by our organizations are actually designed by executive teams. They're designed by sales trainers, sales management. Notice, even though they have the word sales inside their title, they are not actually in the front line, right? They may have been a long time ago, but now the overall interest is for the organization, it's for the company, it's for the well-being of the actual entity, the engine. And that's all great and all. I rock that, you know what I mean? Support your company, because without your company you probably wouldn't be where you're at right now. So I'm not saying, you know, flip off your company. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that you need to really understand why the certain things that you do each and every single day are required, and why they make such a big deal about these little actions. But in order to really kind of maneuver through those actions and what you feel is kind of mundane, and identify what is actually really burning your time, you need to watch this video. So a lot of the processes that are being followed are, you know, just, it's about talk time. It's about, you know, you need to stay on the phone for 6-8 hours per day, right? Man, I know agents that are clearing $250,000 a year that are damn near on the phone less than an hour a day. Does that make sense? So it's not necessarily talk time. However, companies will put that in the system because that's only one sure thing, that if you're not connected on the phone, what the fuck am I paying you for? If you're not connected on the phone, my company or this engine is not getting any exposure to the outside world. And so they rule it with that. But you and I know, being in sales, I've sold plenty of deals on email. I've closed plenty of deals in a 10-minute conversation. I've closed so many deals from within a 20 to 30-minute time frame, right? So you want me to be on the phone for 8 hours? The fuck? You know, does that right? So, but that's just me. And so where I'm getting at is, if you feel this resentment, if you feel this aggression towards your employer because you have to do certain actions and steps and measurements and fucking admin tasks that you feel is just, you know what I mean? Like, you shouldn't have to do it. Like, man, I'm sales. I pump blood through this company. right? Like, why the hell am I doing processing work? Why the hell am I doing these pieces of the process where I feel like it's probably just slowing me down? I want you to know that you're not alone. I want you to know that it's commonly felt. Shit, I'm hearing it all the time. But where I'm getting at is that you have to, well, you know, there's a saying that I have, is that you just got to nod your head and keep it moving, right? You have to kind of pay homage to the engine in place. Don't disrespect it or fight it, just adapt to it. And so what I've learned and in operating this way is that even though I didn't necessarily follow the system, I didn't follow the fucking the ABCD, you know what I mean, like the checklist or the gates that they have. What I do know is they didn't fuck with me because I brought results. I was able to deliver results because I understood how to play this game. I was able to deliver results and really fine-tune the engine or the process that created the results more automated. In other words, I was able to produce higher results in less amount of time without having to be there for 12, 14 hours. However, the days that I was there for 12, 14 hours, I would smash it. So because I was able to produce results, I was never in the spotlight. I was never on the radar. What I need you to understand, when I'm sitting in an executive team meeting and these manager meetings, what we do is we really just hone in on the bottom, the bottom third. And like, we'll pay homage to some of the top people and use them as examples, but a lot of the shit that happens is really based on the bottom third people. It's about what the fuck are they doing? Because these bottom line feeders, right? These bottom feeders, and I'm talking about like the people in the low 30 percentile of the sales floor. So you know who you are. If you're there, man, I'm so glad you found this channel. If you're not there, man, I'm so glad you found this channel, because I'm gonna teach you how to get either out of that bitch, or I'm gonna teach you how to stay far away from. But you know, a lot of the actions, a lot of the decisions are being made on how to improve that bottom line. That's really all it is. So there's measurements, there's KPIs, there's hard stops, there's actions and revisions to the processes that are done to in order to repair what the fuck is happening at the bottom, on the bottom third of the floor. And what the issue is, though, is that the people at the top sometimes feel it. The people even in the middle feel it. And they feel it because they feel like, oh man, now our shit's getting harder. Or oh man, now they're getting more strict. Or oh man, now they're asking for way too much. And it's all because of the bottom feeders. So now, I'm not saying, you know, next time you go into the office, don't fucking sock a bottom feeder in the face. Don't do that, boo-boo. Be respectful. But what I'm getting at is just understand why the actions are being made. It's not because of you. It's not because your company hates you. It's not because, you know what I mean, like it's just bad at your company and it's better elsewhere. Man, every single company got their own issues, bruh. What you have to understand is that no matter what platform or whatever employer you are working with right now has their own system, has their own engine in place way before you even got there. That bitch was moving. And all you're trying to do is, like, think of jump rope. Remember jump rope when you were a kid? And jump rope, like, you just, yeah, like, I don't know, I never really played jump rope and shit, but remember seeing like the people playing jump rope, and like it would be like one person on each side, and then you had to like kind of figure out the rhythm of the rope, you know what I mean, and then jump in and then try to keep that bitch moving so it doesn't hit your feet, right, man? You know what I'm talking about. And so anyway, every engine or every company is kind of on its own rhythm. And so all you have to really do is figure out the rhythm, play to that rhythm, and then just keep it moving. Like, don't let the fucking rope hit your feet. And you're gonna let the rope hit your feet by getting into the bottom third. You're gonna let the rope hit your feet by letting the systems in place weigh you down. And so what I'm noticing through a lot of feedback is that, you know, hey man, you know, what bothers me is that I'm just told to get all these packages in. I'm just told to get the social, complete the app. You know, and agents right now are getting burnt out because they're just simply spending their time on things that they know for sure are never going to transpire into a deal. And that's what I was saying at the very beginning. Unless you're there for the base salary, unless you're there for that minimum wage, or some of you, unless you're there for that draw, like, you don't, you know what I mean? Like, it's not going to serve you any real value. Who it's going to serve value to, though, is your engine, is your company, because they need that information to retarget. They need that information to remarket. They need that information to hopefully process and complete a deal out of it. And they're not necessarily trusting you that you know what the fuck you're doing. So they're just like, hey man, you got a license number, go talk to this dude, try to give me some shit, and then go get another one. That's pretty much what they're saying. But where I'm getting at is if you're having issues right now with your company's system and your company's hard stops or your company's policies, your company's, you know, pieces of the way that they do their system, understand, number one, is that there are plenty of companies, bro, and all you have to do is just figure out that system, create some results, and move on if you need to move on. But if you see people on your sales floor and they're banking, they're earning, then you're more than likely at a good place. Like all you got to do is just hack the system and figure out what the fuck they did. Because I guarantee you, a lot of those top producers, they don't follow the process to a fucking T. I mean, you know who does follow to a T? Brand newbies. Brand Nubians, bro. Like the people who are brand new to the spot. Like, you know what I mean? Like the people who came up from telemarketing and into sales, they're falling to a fucking T. You know why? Because they're being taught by people who aren't in sales. They're being taught by executive teams or sales managers or sales or team leads or sales training trainers and training assistants, right? Like, because their training is written in a book, right? And there's this one saying, and I'll leave you with this, is that Jim Rohn said it, I think. He said that formal education will make you money, but self-education will make you a fortune. And the reason why I bring that up is because when I look at like a training manual or trainer, you know, like literally a sales trainer at any organization, what I personally think of is that it's formal education. But when you step outside the box and you go find a mentor, you go find a coach, you consume courses, training courses, books, audio books, literature, right? And guidance from individuals who are already doing it. That, my friend, is self-education. That is what's going to make you a fortune. But do you know why? It's because they are in the midst of doing it. They have already completed it. They have already understood the straight path. And that path is not being written by an engine, by a biased employer. And I'm not saying your employer's bad. I'm not saying my employer's bad. I'm blessed. What I'm saying, though, is that you need to understand where you're getting your information from. A lot of the successful people you know right now are successful because they had the right coaching and the right mentoring. They had the right guidance. They had the right content. They were self-educated. They weren't formally educated. Does that make sense? So when the policies that you're following right now, those hard stops, that fucking bitch of a process that you're getting upset with, that's formal. That's a formal process. In order to really hack the system, though, you need to self-educate yourself and really dig deep and find where the content is that is going to help you climb. And that content really is coming from those individuals who are actually not on your management team. Very few are, right? It's not going to be the sales trainer. It's going to be from the top producers, going to be from the movers and the shakers on your sales floor. That's who's going to give you the content. And oh yeah, Sales Remastered on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, fucking Twitter, Snapchat, wherever you could find me, find me. And don't forget to download a copy of the sales script. If you want to learn more about the sales boost camp, the one I was telling you about, where I share an hour with you every other week, go to salesremastered.com. It's called the Sales Boost Camp. It's a premier package, and learn more about it there. I'll leave a link below as well. And I'm looking forward to your feedback. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up, and don't forget Breakfast of Champions. Every Thursday, I'm dropping fire and I'm bringing a ton of value, and I'd love to see you there. Bye.